Hey everyone, Token Dave over here, a dorky token black guy who's just trying to get by. And welcome back to Martial Arts Mayhem, where I predominantly talk about martial arts related content within entertainment for the month of May. So, The Karate Kid was a huge success back in 1984, and later went on to become a classic. But at the time, it made so much money and there was so much buzz that a sequel was inevitable. Hence, 2 years later, we got The Karate Kid Part 2. 6 months after the previous movie, Daniel learns that Mr. Miyagi came to the US due to his part in a love triangle that involved his closest friend, Sato. Humiliated by Miyagi's actions, Sato challenged him to a fight to the death in order to regain his honor. A fight that Miyagi has avoided up until he receives a letter in the mail informing him that his father is dying. Miyagi travels back to Japan to pay his final respects to his father while trying to make peace with Sato. Meanwhile, Daniel is dragged into the 40-year-old grudge by Sato's nephew. When I initially saw this movie, I did not like it. It took 12 years later being convinced by Isao to sit down and rewatch the movie again, and upon rewatching, I enjoyed it a hell of a lot more than I initially saw it. But why did it initially get such a mixed reaction or a negative reaction? It could mostly be due to the fact that it's a serious departure from the original. The movie is called Karate Kid, and the original movie dealt more with the philosophy of karate and Daniel's journey of his training. Here, we're focused more on Mr. Miyagi, a mentor, making peace with his past. Something that was very innovative at the time and probably prompted by Noriyuki, aka Pat Morita, getting an Academy Award nomination from the previous movie. So that probably didn't go over too well with the audience at that time period. Especially since, unlike the previous movie, karate really not spoken that much. Sure, it's sprinkled here and there, but it's not mainly the focus of this movie. So if the karate is not much of a focus of this movie, why am I talking about this for Martial Arts Mayhem? Mostly because of the title, but there's also something else that I have planned down the road. Anywho, this movie is more of a dramatic piece about Mr. Miyagi making peace with his past. Noriyuki's performance is up to par yet again. Here we get a deeper understanding of Mr. Miyagi, and we also see a lot more of his humorous side. You saw hints of it here and there, but in this movie it is both more on display and he is more humanized as opposed to this older, wiser sage that seems to always have the answers. You see that there are times where Mr. Miyagi doesn't have the answers. He's just going with the flow of things and just making do with what the situation presents, but doing it with such grace and wisdom that he's not as much of a hothead. And he teaches Daniel that you're not always going to be prepared for something, but when something comes, you have to act a certain way based on your past experiences. Noriyuki has awesome chemistry with Nobu McCarthy, who plays Yuki, Mr. Miyagi's love interest that caused him to leave Japan. Yuki is not in the movie as much as you'd expect, but Nobu's presence in the movie and her chemistry with Noriyuki is outstanding. You know, I don't know what happened, but it's like when they were both together, the movie had this great levity to it, and you really felt so happy that they found themselves and they're together again over 40 years later. You also have a return and a little more amped up version of John Kreese in Sato, played by Dami Komikona. Sato is from a rich family, and his humiliation at the hands of not only Miyagi, a peasant, but someone that was supposed to be his best friend, he has this all or nothing view, and he'll stop at nothing to actually get that fight that he wants to regain his honor. Something that he inadvertently passes down to his nephew, Chozen, played by Uji Okamoto. You know, Chozen is pretty much a more amped up Johnny. He is awesome as a karate practitioner, but he's crueler and he's willing to go much further than Johnny ever was able to, and is more dangerous because he definitely will kill Daniel, which, by the way, Daniel, as I said, takes a backseat to this movie. While he's a lead supporting role, the movie is not really focused as much on him, but he has a sweet romance with Kumiko, played by Tamerlane Tomika, whom is actually the most recognizable person. After this movie, we've seen her in The Joy Luck Club. We see her in The Day After Tomorrow. And from what I overheard, she is actually in The Good Doctor as a main character. She doesn't really have as much to do, but she does have great chemistry with Ralph Macchio, and, you know, she was really cute and everything, you know? You can't complain. This movie has great dramatic tension, but the martial arts on display are not as much. There's really two fight scenes. They're hit and miss. We have Mr. Miyagi having an awesome fight scene where you have to save Daniel, and then we have the final fight scene between Daniel and Chozen, which is something extremely high stakes and, well, it's kind of a bit of a Deus Ex Machina, if you don't mind. And if you've watched the movie, you'll understand why I say, while this fight scene is the Deus Ex Machina, it is still a decent conclusion, I must say. This movie is also known for its music, particularly the lead song, Glory of Love, which got an Academy Award nomination. And that's what a lot of people take away from this movie. Awesome drama, great music, light on the martial arts, but great character study and great character development, and give you more of an insight to the mentor's redemption. This is why I say The Karate Kid Part 2 is slamming. Agree? Disagree? Please drop me a comment below, give me a like, follow me on Facebook at Token Dave, or on Twitter at Token Dave 80, subscribe, and ring that bell so you know when a new video loads. But until then, this has been Token Dave, a dorky token black guy who's just trying to get by. I'll catch all of you later.